Demonic Angel, thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. Really can't believe that so many people are interested in my art here on my channel, what I have to say. It's been a wild ride. I mean, I've been working at the channel a long time. I think, I think 2017 I started the channel, I believe. Pretty sure. So, back then, I was in my 20s. I didn't have any kids. My life was way different. I think I was still adapting to life without alcohol, even though it had been some time really, that I think it was just a lot closer, like more on my mind, I would say, because it was just such a, I think that even a few years is still kind of close to, healing from such a big subject. But yeah, so now I'm in my 30s. That's not on my mind a lot, actually. I mean, it's will always be a part of me. But I have kids. So kind of speaking of kids, that's kind of where I am sometimes. I apologize that sometimes I'll jump on for a while and stuff, and it's kind of consistent, and then it's not. I really think that I should be able to get my kids to school pretty soon, so I'm kind of waiting that out. Kind of planning to have that more time, I would say, for the channel, and so I have lots planned, lots of content. Been enjoying thinking, when I have my private moments, having my deep thoughts and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really just should be able to have more time, in general for my channel and just kind of other things like that. It would still be busy, but just it's just kind of different when you don't have your kids all the time, I would say. So probably a lot of you understand what I mean out there. So yeah, that's a part of it. So what a transition. Another span of time, another leap really, and I'll be middle age. But I'm not afraid of the journey. I'm very fascinated by it, and that's kind of what this channel has been to me too. Really, just a journey of, I guess evolving myself personally, but I think having an outlet for something that had been such a creative interest of mine. Like some people who they really they paint and they want to share that kind of, whether it's the technique or the story behind the painting, they really want to share that. So this has been, that's kind of what that is to me. I'm always going to keep the spirit of, it's just for, really sharing ideas with other people, like-minded people out there. Just to have this whole, basically alter ego as well. I guess that's what I would, call it, because I like to just experiment or, personally do different elements of witchcraft or share my, insights. And I just, it's profound to me that I can connect with so many people. Gosh, and so yeah, even though I've done it a long time, just to finally reach 1,000 is super exciting. So I guess I'm all over the place here, and that's kind of okay. Yeah, so I'm not ignoring you, and I'll get back to you when I can and that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate everybody, kind of knowing that I am not I guess, a friend who just leaves without explanation, but I'm not afraid to say, hey, I have other shit to do. So I am actually finishing reading, my friend, I guess he goes on adventures all the time, but he asked me to read a version of a book that he wrote. It's unpublished, and then, through all the, the different moves and stuff he's been going through. He kind of stepped away from his channel and then said, well, what do you think? Because it's not published. So I believe he's still, planning to publish it. It's about the Goetia, King Paimon in general. And then, but I think it kind of branches out into a whole bunch of different occult and, like his own philosophies, other ideas. So it's broad, yeah, you can get specific King Paimon, knowledge that way as well. So, yeah, it's really cool. I love when people share things like books with me. When people tell me that I've connected with them on a deep level, some of those times I've just been like blown away. I mean, yeah, not to, I'm sure it's like, well, hey, I hit 1,000 subscribers. I could go on and on here, I guess, a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I'd also, definitely gotta thank my husband who, kind of pointed me in this direction of vlogs and stuff, and he's more of a tech person, and really helps me in a lot of regards. I mean, this is pretty much so far it's been mostly me. He's been on a couple of my cult chats and stuff, but yeah, I mean, he really taught me a lot how to basically do this channel and stuff. So absolutely grateful for everything that he does, including basically supporting my art. And it's just, I'm a lucky person. What can I say? And yeah, like I said, to believe that there's an interest for it. I just kind of did think that people out there might be a little bit like me, where you have kind of mixed interests, and some of the craziest, I'd say, highlights for me though would be a friend of mine asked me about a missing person, a missing man, and he, basically wanted to know if I thought that any foul play was involved, and so, yeah, he actually sent me the guy's name, and I didn't look him up. I just kind of, let his name kind of play around in my mind for a few days, and then pick up on some stuff. And so I, did a few videos talking about, what I thought, and that I thought that he had perished in the wilderness near kind of near a property line, so it would be not too long before he would be, located. But, that was like why he hadn't been found, and that he had had a new medical problem that had become a part of his life before he went missing. And so it was like the medication and perhaps, whatever's wrong with him was making him dizzy, kind of disoriented, a little bit hazy, and, brain fog. And that I experienced that, through channeling this gentleman. And I think that that's a new thing. Well, it turns out he ended up going missing after he developed, he was diagnosed with a heart problem and had to take medication for it shortly before he went missing. I mean, I got things wrong, but yeah, I saw him tinkering around with stuff, and so I was pretty close to his occupation, but I was just a little bit off and things like that. But even a family member contacted me saying, you come really close to describing him as a person, because again, I did like a regular video, and then maybe a summary video. So again, I also mentioned his body be found at the changing of the seasons, and that all ended up coming true. So it was just this natural death after these heart problems, and I mean that really for me was just like a moment of pause. Really, that was just really incredible to be able to basically test out whatever skills and I don't know, connect it to what I do here. Yeah, I mean when people have shared books with me, I've been able to do some sigil collaborations where I've drawn sigils, and my husband would like film me doing that in like spooky candlelight, and my friend's music that he makes for every video special would play in the background, so that's super cool. Yeah, I think that people are interested in I don't know, paganism and witchcraft. A lot of people, more and more people, it's like it definitely used to be on the outside of society, and I think that it always will be, but it's just a crazy, really great feeling to be a part of something, such a powerful subject. And I also, basically do a lot of sigil magic and the Goetia. So yeah, I just kind of, have a wide range of interests really. But another unique aspect is that, yeah, I do have psychic abilities, but I've been seeing ghosts, been having paranormal experiences since I was a child. So, yeah, basically, since I was maybe like 3 or 4, and I can remember seeing people, waking up in the middle of the night and seeing people. To me, it looked like, they look like normal people, but sometimes they could smell, look all fucked up, a lot of things would be, a lot of aspects would be, they'd be like gray in color, or when they try to talk, and then like nothing comes out of their mouths, and so all the different, well, I guess I would say behaviors of ghosts. I've seen it all stuff. I know it sounds really creepy, and it was for a long time. I mean, of course, things still creep me out too, but I've just learned to embrace sort of the lifestyle of paganism and adventures really with the dead, but respectfully, and rather than try to deny this kind of part of myself. Embrace it. So yeah, I really just can't believe that, I don't know, people are searching for this kind of stuff too, and it's really exciting to me. I love sharing ideas. I love tarot, and I do I profiled most of the Rider-Waite deck. Yeah, that's, there's so much classical symbolism, like that comes from the ideas that come from the ancient Greeks and Romans. I'll go over all that kind of stuff, but just to apply it to life and things like that in such a broad way that it's not just divination, but it's a step in individuation. So that's the way I like to look at a card. And then, of course, you can apply it to divination as well. Traded some books with people, like actual books, and I'm trying to think of some of the other, what, like, oh my gosh, what kind of other points of this stick out to me. Being, able to, share the paranormal A lot of other people have, claim they have ghosts and that kind of stuff, and so that kind of led me down that path, I guess, this path, really. And so eventually, after lots of classical, knocking on the wall, classic haunting stuff, then, I ended up being able to perceive the dead as really more with my mind than seeing them physically. And I've just never really lost the ability, but I did begin to question it. So I can really read a lot. I mean, if I want to savor and enjoy something, maybe take it apart. I'll reread it a whole bunch of times. But yeah, so I've just, dove into a lot of different subjects like, Buddhism and tarot. Found out about Francis Agrippa, Anton LaVey, Nietzsche, the philosophy of Jim Morrison, the Doors. So I got really into, looking at, and when I would look back on things, I would say, well, I'm really interested in the, why did I have paranormal experiences as a kid? And some of those that really kind of drew me back into it, watching cups levitate in the air, seeing a big heavy object, come flying off of a counter and hit a wall. I mean, very, very hard. There is no explanation, I mean, as far as like explaining it logically, they're just, of course I wanted there to be, but then it's like I never could shut the doors on that because that part of my mind. So I just kind of started to I think embrace it more and more, look into it, and then it was really cool. And I found out, hey, you could share this with the internet and stuff. But I just really hope to connect with people too. Luciferianism is a big part of what I like as well. So yeah, psychic stuff, tarot. It even helped. People do. I've done some consultations from people who want to talk about or channel their last life. So I've been able to actually hypnotize a few people and then kind of regress them to their past life, but that's not a common kind of a deal. I think there have to be certain conditions and stuff met. So yeah, I just love to practice stuff, share occult. Occult is, it's my fascination, of course, so that's why I'm here. And so in risk of losing all of you forever and continuing to talk, I will come on here pretty soon and be able to have some time. I'm at the point where there's a lot of aches and pains each night. Kids don't want to sleep that much. We're together all the time. So at the end of the day, my mind is just... I do actually like to think of, I'll think of Jung, or I'll start to reread Homer's Iliad or Odyssey, which are some of my favorites. So I'll, reread classics. Because I kind of need that to recharge, to be honest with you guys. I'm somebody who does need that kind of solitude. To me, that's just thrilling, to be able to just read, be back in a classic and stuff. I don't know. That's how I feel about reading. I'll make a book list and stuff, but yeah, I just, what can I say, man? I love you guys. Thanks for being a part of my journey. I might seem a little all over the place and weird, and I definitely probably am here, but it's been great. I really hope to take you guys out more places, but I think that can actually happen pretty soon. I mean, at the very least, I'll be able to, we'll finish up the Rider-Waite deck, and then we'll kind of go into Greek symbolism. I'll continue my live streams. I'd like to also talk about grounding and and why that's important, how that works, and then we can kind of go into some things like how electricity affects us and the dead, so why You know, why is that important? You have to be able to ground yourself to the earth sometimes, because ghosts are basically static electricity, because we're positive and so are they. So they either use our energy, you know, or attach to us, unless we're practicing things that are grounding. But grounding specifically touching, you know, going barefoot or leather shoes because it's conductive. So that's kind of how you have to keep yourself balanced. Now other things like grounding, like you taking a bath in different minerals and stuff, all those kinds of things are good for you as well. Yeah, so I think, you know, whatever, might seem really boring, but it's definitely, you know, ghosts and hauntings are definitely part electrical, and the phenomena such as the feeling of cobwebs, the difference in temperatures, they all are manifestations of something electrical manifesting into our plane of existence, but they're not quite grounded. So that's kind of, in a lot of ways, what ghosts are. So anyway, it's a lot of good fun, and I love kind of getting into stuff. And like I said, from the theories to the actual books, you know, I'd love to make a book list. It's been cool too. People who have claimed to be members of law enforcement, different orders like Masons. I've talked to people from BALG who've congratulated me on my channel. To be able to, you know, say that I like know some of these people a little bit, at least have messaged, interacted, and shared ideas, is really astonishing to me. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. And let's continue to explore, well, psychic, theistic, Satanism, and quantum physics, psychonaut ideas, philosophy, other kinds of fun stuff like that together. So I'll talk to you guys when I can. I should have more time in about 3 to 4 weeks, if that makes sense. So you guys hang in there, and I still love the channel, and most of all, you guys. Talk to you soon.